Now, I will say, we had a fight. We did. But I can't really talk about all the stuff that happened, you know what I'm saying, because of legality. But we did have a fight. At some point, Will tries anything to make dreams happen, right? Well, that's what I did when I went and auditioned for The Voice. In this episode, I'm going to talk to y'all all about the behind the scenes things of what happened to me on The Voice and some of my worst experiences that I had on The Voice as well. All right, so I'm honestly excited about this episode today because I enjoyed this experience, but I also had a moment of like not enjoying it too. So I really want to talk to y'all a little bit about just what I experienced when I was on The Voice. So obviously I was on season 25 of The Voice. If y'all did see me on season 25 of The Voice, make sure that y'all put it in the comments. But I was up there and I got to be blessed to have coaches like Reba McEntire, John Legend, Dan and Shay, and as well Chance the Rapper. So that was an amazing season because we had 2 country coaches, which that doesn't really happen on like The Voice. I really was thinking, I was like, okay, we got to have a country guy. We're going to have a country person to win our season because we had 2 country coaches. That's what I would think, right? Wrong. That's not what happened. But I'm going to chime y'all in and I'm going to really take y'all through everything that happened on The Voice, and I'm going to take y'all through every episode. Is that okay? I'm going to take y'all through every episode that is really like so defining to me, all of the experiences I had throughout each of those episodes. All right, so y'all ready? Y'all locked in? All right, let's go. So this is the Blinds episode.
Sure feels good, finally feel the way I do. I wanna love somebody like you.
All right, so in the Blinds episode, I want to tell y'all this. That was not a scary experience for me because I've been gigging so many times that was just like, okay, here's another gig. It's okay, whatever. Now, I will say Carson Daly, before I even got on stage, Carson was like, are you nervous? Are you scared? And I looked at him and I was like, bro, I'm not scared. He was like, that's the spirit, dog. That's the spirit. But I literally was not scared because I knew like either I was going to go home and gig again and just make life happen, or I was going to get a chair turn and then we were going to stay on the show as long as I can. Now, I was for sure wanting to have a chair turn, but if I didn't, it's okay. Like I didn't care about it, right? But I ended up getting that chair turn. And when I got the chair turn, I was like, yo, I'm literally on the show, y'all. So I get to the show and we get to the battles. And here's the episode for the battles.
I wish you would say something. Say anything. You wish I would say something. Say anything. And I would never say nothing. No, we never say nothing.
All right, so on the battles episode, there was so much happening behind the scenes. I'm gonna vaguely talk about it because there's a lot that I cannot say because of legality, but I'm gonna say this. There was a lot of turmoil that was happening on our season. Hence the reason why a lot of us did not come back from the top 12 to be able to perform. I feel like that was part of the reason why. I'm spilling a lot of tea today, okay? So y'all bear with me. On the battles episode, as you can see, my partner, Elle Rogers, she's an amazing human. But what you probably didn't see behind the scenes, we were fighting. We were fighting a lot. We argued a lot. We didn't like each other. But I think that's what made our performance even stronger is because like we really just we hated each other. We fought so much because I wanted to do something different in my parts of the song, but she didn't like it. I didn't like what she was doing, and I'm just going to be very honest about it. I just didn't. But we came together and we made it happen, and we both ended up staying for the next round, which was insane to me because I literally thought I was going to either go home because of the stuff that was happening behind the scenes. But we did. We couldn't stand each other. And there was so many of us that could not stand each other in the battles because we were competing against each other. And so when you're on these reality shows, you got to remember that you have to stand still and just really give it your all. It doesn't matter what your other person, like, that you're competing against has got going on. You just got to stand still and know who you are as an artist. And once you do that, you'll be fine. I think that was my biggest problem when I was on the show. I cared about people way too much. That was my problem. And I had to like really regroup myself when I got to the knockout round to really just say, okay, I can't really care about so many people. I have to really care about myself if I want to win this show. As we go to the knockout rounds, I'm going to tell y'all what happened in the knockouts, all right? So here we go.
Hey, nothing, got nothing on you. 'Cause I've seen the mountains high. I saw the ocean blue.
All right, so you just watched the knockout rounds, and obviously it was Asher Havon that I was going against, which is insane. He was one of the top tier artists on my season, as well as me. So I didn't recognize that I was going to be able to perform with him or be in the knockout round until literally, I want to say, honestly, 2 days before. I think it was 2 days before. 2 days before we got to the knockout, like, filming part. That's when we figured out that we were going to be paired together. I literally kept telling him, I was just like, I'm not going to be paired with you, bro, because I do country. But literally he kept saying, no, we're going to be paired together because you got a lot of soul in your voice, and he does R&B, but he also does soul. So he just knew that we were going to be paired together, and I just kept saying no. But we ended up doing it. There was a lot that happened with our episode. There was a lot that happened with our part of our episode as well. We didn't like each other at all, or people wasn't liking me. I don't understand. Like, I feel like sometimes for me as a person, when I'm too cheerful or happy all the time, like, I feel like some people don't like that. When I don't act that way, that's when people start looking at me and being like, yo, Tay, what is going on, dog? Like, but I just don't care. I just keep moving and just keep progressing or whatever I'm doing, right? Now, I will say we had a fight. We did, but I can't really talk about all the stuff that happened, you know what I'm saying, because of legality. But we did have a fight and we made up, but it was all good, you know what I'm saying? But that's why we ended up making it to the next round. And so I'm going to talk about the playoff round. Are y'all ready? All right, let's go.
Girl, you never look better than you do right now. Oh, ever let your light shine down the
All right, so you just watched the playoff round, and I sung Running Out of Moonlight by Mr. Randy Houser. That was one of my favorite songs, man. I freaking love that song. I love Randy Houser. Randy Houser is one of my favorite all-time singers. And I feel like he slept on so much as an artist. I feel like a lot of people don't know too much about him. The playoff round, I ended up like making it to the live shows. But before we got to the live shows and before we found out that I was going to the live shows, I am behind the scenes in the dressing room preparing. And I'll tell you this, I lost my voice like a week before we had to perform. Now, I literally was like, I'm not going to be able to perform this song because it got to like 3 days before we had to film and I still had no voice at all. Then we get to rehearsal. Rehearsal was crazy. I don't know what came out. I think I took like 4 or 5 ibuprofens before I went to rehearsal. I know I probably was about to OD because I took so many ibuprofens, but I took so many ibuprofens because what people don't realize is that like that only cures it for a little bit when you're hoarse, but like, cause it eases the, you know, the tension or whatever in your voice for a little bit. But like, you should not be doing it all the time. And I'm going to say this, I'm going to caution y'all. If you are singers, do not take ibuprofen every single time. I did it just for this caution because I did not want to go home, right? So I ended up taking like 4 or 5 ibuprofens and I was singing like it was my last day on earth. And I was like, what is happening? And I had no voice when I got back to my room. And I ended up taking 2 or 3 other, or actually about 4 ibuprofens again, you know, the day that we had to film. When I got up there and I filmed and I was like, yo, I don't know what came over it. But what y'all didn't see is that like I had a standing ovation from everybody after that performance. And it got me to the live shows, y'all. I was the last person to be called to be going to the live shows. So I made it to the live show.
When I looked at you, watching that body swing to every song I sang, like the tears we cried that day we had to leave. Yeah. Oh, it was everything. Oh.
So let's talk about the live shows, y'all. All right, so the live shows was crazy, y'all. This was the time that I really started realizing who was going to actually win. You kind of have an inkling of who's going to win by just the way that things are happening and things are going. And so we all were thinking, and there was some people that was thinking I was going to win, but I was like, I'm for sure not going to win, y'all. I promise you I'm not. I can try my hardest to try to win this thing, but I know I'm not going to win this thing. And sure enough, I didn't. I made it to the top 9, but I ended up singing for the top 12. I ended up singing Dan and Shay's song, Summer 19, You and Me. Now, that was an iconic moment because my coaches at the time was Dan and Shay. And I think that was such an iconic moment for me because I looked up to these guys. I looked up to them so much as an artist. I saw the tenacity and the growth that they had in their success of country music, right? But they also immersed into doing pop music. And so I really just wanted to tap in and just really understand what they do as artists and how they really develop their brand, right? Now, what you see on TV a lot, you don't hear a lot of the things that we talk about behind the scenes, right? So I asked them a lot of questions. I asked Dan a lot of questions. I asked Shay a lot of questions. I ended up asking them so many questions about how can I be able to be a better artist and what can I do? So that is going to help you so much when you get on these reality television shows because those reality television shows, they're great for success for a certain amount of time, but as you get off the show, you're like, okay, what the fuck is next? You know what I'm saying? You don't know. But what I realized in that moment, I just had to just start asking questions and start figuring out how can I be able to, be a better artist. All right. Last but not least, I made it to the top 9, y'all. And so I'm going to let y'all watch a snippet of my top 9 episode.
Don't know why you do what you do. I'm so in love with you. It just keeps getting better. I wanna spend the rest of my life with you by my side.
All right, y'all. So that was my top 9 episode. I know you probably didn't remember. You probably didn't notice me because I didn't have a hat on, right? Yeah, that was the episode where I literally was like, I wanted to do something totally different. I didn't know what it was, but I just wanted to just show people hey, I can spruce it up a little bit. I can change my scenery of what I wanted to do. Now, I will say for top 9, I was very, very pissed because the outfit that they chose, I didn't choose that outfit, y'all. Know that. I didn't choose that outfit. The outfit that they chose for me, I did not like at all. Not saying I hate the wardrobe people because I love the old wardrobe people, but that was not the outfit that I wanted to wear. It did not look country. It did not look what I was trying to explain to people as an artist. But I had to realize that this is a TV show. This is reality. So reality is they didn't give 2 shits of what I wanted to wear, right? They only cared about their job of what they had to do, which is to put on something that was pertaining to whatever that was, right? In that moment, I was like, I'm going home because you throwing me this shit that I didn't really want to wear. And that's okay. I know now that this is my fate, right? So I get up there and I'm singing. Now, mind you, what I wanted to wear, I'm gonna go back to that. What I wanted to wear was something that was cowboy hat, and I wanted to wear a suit, a whole suit, y'all, double-breasted suit. I wanted to wear that because of the song that I was singing. I wanted to be very much that. But they wanted me to be this something that wasn't it. I don't know what that was. I just was like, what the hell is this? But it was all right. I went with it and I just said whatever, right? Sung the song. I said, I literally said to myself, I was like, if I'm going to go out, then I'm going to kill the hell out of this song. And that's what I did. I ended up changing the dynamic of the song, making it my own, and look where it got me. It got me cut off the show. It is what it is, right? So I got cut, but it's all good. And I'm glad that I got cut because from what I see, I don't see there was a change for me to even make it from top 9 to top 5, right? The only thing that was going to be different was for me to be able to sing in front of Dan and Shay or sing with Dan and Shay, right? But that was going to be the only difference, right? I feel like my life has drastically changed since I was on The Voice. There's still hard work to be done, right? And I loved my experience being on The Voice. I loved everything about it. I loved everybody that was a part of the show. But we all live and learn, and I was okay with it. Like, I went home, got the experience, and now I am doing what I love doing and not working a 9-to-5 job, right? So, y'all, this was fun. I honestly loved everything about this. I actually have healed so much because I had to go to therapy after I left The Voice. I honestly felt like, to me, I had to have therapy after I left because I didn't know what reality was after reality television. And so when I got through therapy and talked to my therapist, and he's going to come onto one of the episodes as well. So make sure that y'all look at the episode. But therapy really helped me out so much after I left the show because it really just figured out like that this world is lonely, especially being in the music industry. And what I would challenge anybody who wants to go and do a show, be true to yourself because they already know who you are. They already know what you are capable of doing. Be true to yourself, love yourself, but more importantly, like, get therapy after you leave the show because I'm telling you, if you don't, then it's going to eat you alive every single day, okay? It's going to eat you alive. It's going to say, what ifs? You're going to have moments of like, why didn't this happen? Why didn't I make it as this far? Go to therapy. I'm telling you right now, okay? Thank y'all so much for tuning in to this episode. I hope that y'all enjoyed it. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel. I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for tuning in to Let's Talk Country-ish, and I'll see y'all for the next episode.